Hello and welcome to the Catacombs for the level 3 edition of the Battles of Brother Purple. This isn't exactly a campfire, but it's about the best I could do, so you're going to have to manage. And these aren't exactly rolling hills and trees in the distance either, are they? So, we're in the middle of the Catacombs chain, and I've made it unnecessarily difficult for myself by not taking level 4 yet, because I wanted to do one at level 3, of course. Um, Plenty of scrawled notes on my little piece of paper here. I think it's normal when you're learning a new class. There's all sorts of little pitfalls and things to be negotiated. But one thing I will say, like in the Favoured Soul, let's say, last life, when we were cheesing it with swords with those charisma shadow blades, and many of you said I should have continued on doing that well after I stopped. It's been nicer at the start of this one. I think as just about any melee, I think you probably have it easier at the start than any caster. Is that kind of common knowledge? It's not something that's really been brought home to me until doing these with purple, because I haven't really done much on the melee side, but we're doing well. We're doing some decent damage. We've got the strike through thing going on the with the two-handed fighting to usually hit two at once, so it's going nicely. What do we get then at level 3? Right, level 3, I mentioned in the previous one that we were going to do something to help with the weapon damage. So here it is, the imbue with shadow. So as a level 3 feat, we've taken the magical training feat, because you have to have that to go into the Fade Arc illusion tree. People used to playing casters might not be aware of that, because you get that by default as most any caster. But to take it as a melee sort, you have to have the magical training feat. So what we're going to do, big thanks to Wagon for suggesting this, we've got this now until level 20, and when we reach the cap and the epic destinies give us options for the magical training feat, we're going to swap the magical training for precision, which is what we really should have had at level 3. So that's a nice little it's just going to save us from having to change weapons when you get an ooze, or having stuff break. I mean, like the ooze in the kobold tunnels, no problem, no weapon damage, no nothing. So I can't tell you how much different that is, and I'm sure there would be plenty of headaches, similar rust monsters and Lord knows what else. So to just be able to have your one favourite weapon and go on with that, to me that's a godsend. I'm not one of these who likes to swap over all sorts of stuff. So very happy with that. Happy as well that at level 3 apparently we get some faster movement going on, and at certain other levels as well in the leveling process our movement's going to be boosted as long as we remain centered. So this centered concept is core to everything with the monk. I think if for any reason we're not centered anymore, like over encumbrance or whatever, then we're going to start running into all kinds of problems. So we have to rectify that as soon as possible if it happens in a quest. We have some updated gear. I'm particularly pleased with this one. I found it on my main character in a corner somewhere. So 20% mischance from blur. Obviously running at Reaper 1, I think that goes down to a 10%, but that's still very nice. More than happy to get that. Super nice item that. We were missing any accuracy or any deadly item. So one's to hit, the other is to damage, if you didn't know. a nice item from the salt marsh. I think that's another one from the salt marsh. Yeah, salt marsh. So a bit of dex. Now dex would help with our shuriken, wouldn't it? And also with reflex saves, but not really with damage or anything. Seeker is very nice for our critical hits, so we'll happily take that. The rest of the gear is the same. Okay. I added, because one of you suggested this the last time around, these minor petrify rune stones. And although we can't use them on Reapers, we can use these from level 3 against the champions, the red crowns and such that pop up. I've been doing my best to do that, and they do work pretty well. The one caveat is that the opponent that you petrify, then does it mention it here? Oh, I don't think it does, but I think they get some pretty significant damage reduction when they are turned to stone, so they do take a bit to beat down then, but I'd rather have that than a red crown in my face, so that's a nice little thing that I've been using. Just a little word on these cookies that we've been trying, that All's dropped for us. Obviously I'm aware that their usefulness will drop off, you know, very quickly as we go up the levels. Even once we get to sort of 6 or 7, I would anticipate not too many will be of any use, which is normal, because then we'll have oh shit buttons of our own, I would hope, and not have to, you know, rely on that. Just an example of a horrible situation where the game basically turns round and gives you a big fuck you, and normally you would end up as a soul stone, where the cookies can rescue it. The end of the Crypt of Gerard Dryden quest, you know, you've been going round opening up all the crypts, and you get to the end as that red boss plus a load of ghouls, and in my case a couple of Reapers thrown in as well. Yes, I know, silly for running it on Reaper 1, but frankly, he's been doing really well on Reaper 1. Much better than the caster version Last Life did. It's only when the Reapers themselves pop up that we run into a bit of trouble. So yes, I could see all this going pear-shaped very quickly, so I hit the blade barrier and the old dragon breath, and that very quickly turned the odds back into our favour. So I was thinking, no, not this time. Fuck you, game. It felt, I know it was blatant cheating, but it felt very nice to kind of turn the tables, you know, for all those times a Reaper's just popped out of the wall and nobbled me or whatever. Yeah, so I quite enjoyed that moment. So yes, the cookies, the ones I found most useful. I haven't actually tried the shard storm, but I would anticipate that would be very useful too, in a tight spot. Blade barrier, very nice. We used that, didn't we, at the end of the Kobold's ringleader quest when the Reaper popped up. This one, the Spider Queen, a minute of souped up attack and damage. So more than happy to use those. And the Owl Bear one before that for bonus strength, same deal. Nothing not to like there. Single target damage, Nightmare Lance, it's falling off a little bit now. It was one-shotting everything, you know, in the very low levels. Now not so much, but still something half decent if a Reaper pops up or something. And then we've got these two here for the blindness. Now obviously in a quest like this with undead all over the place, it's not going to do anything. At least I don't... can you blind undead? This thing of Shar has not been doing when I've been testing. Can you blind an undead? I don't think you can. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm trying to think if colour spray blinds the undeads. I think it might do, you know. Anyway, situationally useful against a pack of things. I guess they won't see much use in the quest to come because that's almost all undead as well. But maybe we could try and see. A blinded caster is something a lot less threatening. I'll certainly try and make use of the petrify stones against any crowns that we meet. I've added in the skullduggery cap, another one from Saltmarsh. 10-minute death ward clicky, that's the best death ward clicky available at these low levels as far as I'm aware, so very nice item. Another reason to run Saltmarsh, Mike, if you're watching. Okay, I think that's it on the gear side. So the enhancements, we've just been making our way up this mystic tree. Oh yes, I did try the key bolt and that was grossly underwhelming, doing less than 10 damage a time. I see it scales up with melee power, but it's not something I'm going to be making use of. This, on the other hand, is very nice, the quick strike. I think I've shown you that before. 25% bonus to double strike for 10 seconds, and it's on a 12-second cooldown, so it should almost be always on. Just keep it in the rotation. Hits quite heavily itself, 3W damage, so not bad at all. And looking forward to, once we take level 4, we ought to be able to go up into the lighting the candle thing to give us an imbue, and these two cores are giving bonus imbue dice, so straight out of the gate we should be doing something reasonable with the imbues. And please tell me that scales with melee power. Yes, it does. Yeah. Key generation on hit is reduced by 1. Okay. Well, at the moment I don't think key is a huge problem, so I think we can probably live with that. Right, speaking of key, I tested this meditate thing, or I might as well show it now. And you can see the key is regenerating fairly rapidly now, but you do have to sit here. I mean, for using during a quest, unless it scales up big time with the level, maybe it does, and then maybe you can get like several hundred key, and then it becomes useful. I just can't see at the moment it being useful, you know, sitting like this in the middle of a quest, maybe a rest shrine or something. But we haven't got that much to regenerate anyway. I tend to find that the regular things that we're doing, the regular fighting, is enough for my key needs, at least for now. So that's the meditate. And yes, going up to level 3, I noticed we got access to some new... there was a feat as well, wasn't there? Let me show this, because this confused me initially. Can we see the monk feats? Monk class feats, yeah, okay. So it gives you a choice: Path of Harmonious Balance or Path of Inevitable Dominion. And we took this one, the Harmonious Balance. And with that comes some new options for the finishing moves. Now, rather than get dragged into all this and confused, I just put the one key attack on my bar, because I remembered that several of you have said all you need to really bother about is the light one, this one. So I am going with every time that's off cooldown in a fight, I try and hit with that, and there's two benefits there. The first one being that it's quite a nice little feature. When you hit the target that you've affected with this Fists of Light, you are healed for a small amount every time you hit the target, which is great. And every third time you have the healing key thing that opens up. I don't think it actually damages the target, but you reach out and take some health for yourself in using that. So there's some I won't say significant, but it works out to be reasonably significant when it stacks up over time. 1 and 2 key gained on every hit. And one of the nice things seems to be on our strike through build, I have a feeling that we can hit more than one target with the Fists of Light, and then take health from more than one when we are sweeping with the staff. So in the fullness of time, that could it is now, to be honest. In all but the nastiest of situations, we're running along quite nicely in Reaper 1 and not running into too much trouble. Obviously, if a Reaper pops up or something like a Red Crown, we have the healing hands. With the Reaper nerf, they're not healing us to anywhere near full. I'd say about halfway if we're lucky. But outside of Reaper, that would definitely heal you to full. And I've been chugging potions in between, potions of cure series in between combats to top us up. And then we've got this cookie for the greater vigor to try to restore some health if we do get into a bit of a scrape. So I must remember that. Okay. What else? I've mentioned the light, the petrify stones. What else have we got? We've got plenty of stuff on for here. Oh yes, the effect of the evasion so early. I can't remember the last time I had evasion at level 2, and it's just insanely good. Like I don't know, dressing gown and slippers job. Suddenly the lightning bolts from the Kobold Shaman, which, as any of you'll know who've been running the content on, on characters without gobs of past lives, it's pretty deadly, that stuff. And he just laughs at it now with his evasion. Same for the traps in the recovering the lost tome in the harbour. Those deadly electric traps. He's not bothered. I was just running through with a big smile on my face, so thoroughly enjoying the evasion. We obviously took quite an amount of dex because we want to have precision eventually as our level 3 feat, and that has a dex requirement associated with it. So at the moment we have 24 dex, which is lovely. That's because we have dex boosting items on, which you have seen, and a 17 reflex save, which for this level is pretty damn decent. So we're going to be evading just about everything that's thrown at us. So happy days on that score. I think I've mentioned all that. Oh, a little bird whispered in my ear the other day that we are going to get wings as well at level 12. Now that's one thing I do miss, the Favoured Souls wings. That was awesome, and I really got used to having those in a tight spot, or if you're wanting to chase down an opponent. Yes, boss at the end of what goes up, I'm talking about you slippery bugger. So yes, at level 12 apparently, wings. Now let's not do what we did in the Favoured Soul life and not realise that we've got them. Level 12, don't let me forget, we're having it. I've also, I seem to have found a reasonably decent weapon for us to take into epics from 20. Because I remembered one of you recommending the epic zoom, which turned out to be as flavourful as it was lovely. So I'm thinking of a stout oak walking stick, which looks to have a fairly decent profile and can be gotten from commendations of the villagers of Evening Star, which I gather from the wiki are passable, to other characters, The weapon itself, I think, is bound to character on acquire, but those commendations are transferable, so I'm sure I will find the 15 that we need to have a nice weapon going into Epic, so that's great. I think that's pretty much all the waffle I had for this time. So let's go ahead and step into the next quest in the chain, which is the lower cathedral, setting the wards. Again, I could and probably should take level 4 for this to help us out a bit, but this is the level 3 episode, so I'm not going to. Must remember to try to petrify any red crowns or crown opponents we see. The one downside to these runestones, they do take quite a cooldown. I think is it 20 or 30 seconds cooldown as well. Right, it says there in the description, doesn't it? Extremely resistant to physical damage. So it's a pain I haven't got. Actually, I could try in that case the key bolt, but that does so little damage anyway. No, I'm not going to. Not going to. Okay, so heroism. Enchant the weapon. Look at the force effect on the weapon. I quite like that. I wish it would show a timer on that force effect. It just shows that it's there. Now if you hover over your weapon in the description, you can see the timer, 5 minutes or so, but it doesn't actually show that on the bar, so I just have to remember that it's, at the moment at least, it's in tune with the heroism buff. So when that runs out, I have to rebuff the staff. Oh, I've changed the boots as well to a 15% always on speed. So we're a little bit slower, but at least we don't have to click something to gain that speed. So I'm not suddenly falling off a cliff if opponents are chasing me and I lose all my speed.
Signs show that a battle took place here recently. Darkness suffuses the lower cathedral. The power of the duality.
So straight in with the quicken strike. The healing key all the time. See, I'm healing some nice numbers there. Hopefully the healing amp I took from the Shintao tree might help with that. A nice little trap there. Shall we test? I think we already would have been hit. Let's test our evasion. Go on. Do it. Oh, maybe it's only once a time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of occasion to test. But you see, I didn't have to heal anything, it just healed itself there. So unless we get into a really crappy situation, even on Reaper 1, the health situation is in a happy place. And we're hitting for some decent damage once that quick strike, and look, the double strike's activating. It's just doing really nicely, that. We took a bit of a chunk there, so let's just wait for the combat situation to wear off. Healing potion, and we're back up to top again. Outside of combat, those potions of Cure Serious are more than capable of doing a job for us.
Shuddering and groaning, the bars in front of the fate words are etched in the art.
Oh, now then. Now then. That's my nemesis. We're going to go with a fire cookie here, and perhaps a blade barrier, if I can remember the right key. I used the petrify thing on the white, which didn't work on the red crown. So yeah, I think we would have died there. The plague, I had it written down on my little sheet, is just my nemesis, because you can't use your healing thing through there. Your healing hands wouldn't work. It's just a bit of a nightmare when he pops up. Any other Reaper we would have a fairly decent chance, but not him. So that's a good example of the time at which it's pretty good to hit the cookies.
The altar of the winged serpent stands before you.
Oh, can we petrify you?
Its guardian before.
Yes, look at that beautiful red crown. Now you can see the damage he's taking is a lot less now, but I want to show you the healing move. Let's show you the healing hands thing. Oh, it wasn't on Reaper. It's not prolific, but it was 3 times what we would have got from a standard heal from attacking things.
The shadows that cloak the altar.
And just to reiterate, if you didn't know or don't know the monk, you do 3 attacks with this light one, and then the finishing move pops up, the option to do the healing move. And you have to hit that quite quickly after it pops up, otherwise you lose the option to do it. Nice. I'm using the ethereal staff from the Borderlands to give us the ability to hit these ghosty type things reliably, and we should be able to just walk through this trap.
You hear a clang from the nearby Catacombs.
I suppose I could always roll a 1, so walking through there isn't the best idea. Okay, we've run out of buffs, I think, haven't we? Good. Right, let's try and defend this area. A blade barrier here would be good, but let's not use it unless we really have to. See all the healing ticking there? I might have hit 2 there with that. Can we stonify you? I tried. I don't think I can turn to stone the priest, the white priests. Tried the healing hands there because we'd taken a big chunk. Okay. Mana, the only use we have for mana, I think, is casting the imbue with shadow at the moment. Oh, is that? Oh, it's a Carnage Reaper with no health. Okay, I'll happily take that. See, we've got some nice ticking healing coming there. And the healing strike thing. Let's test our trap resilience. Oh, I thought there would be a trap there. There we go, save.
Words are etched in the archway, clattering like old gold.
Let's go with the
Leading to the altar of
cookie
the
boost.
avenging maiden.
Blessing of
The
Lolth.
altar of the avenging maiden stands before you. You will have to destroy its guardian before you can purify it.
That's been chunked down quite nicely.
The shadow over the altar.
So the zombies have resistance to our bludgeon damage, but the skeletons take decent damage from it.
As the darkness over this altar dissolves, you hear cries of fury from the central vault. The main altar.
Can we actually jump up here? Yeah, we just about have enough jump. Okay, so we'll trigger the power cookie again. Now, can I turn... No, I think these are the bosses, aren't they? I can't turn them to stone. I could cheat and trigger the shard storm if we get into real trouble. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Oh! Instant death! Oh my god! Okay, maybe I should have cheated. Well, that's not good. I guess that was you, sir. Mr. Red Crown. What happened there? Can we see? Unholy Blight. 78 points of evil damage. Wow. Yeah, that was nasty. So, is there a shrine somewhere we can get to? Yes, down there. Can I reach it without using the Gibber's Blade? I don't think so. Can we not get over there now? Okay. Well, that was a proper comeuppance, wasn't it? That'll teach me for cheating with the cookies. They can cheat too. Wow. So, I should be thinking at this moment what to... I think to save the quest, I'm going to have to try some cheaty things, aren't I? What can I do? Because if he gets a shot in, it could be game over. Going and meleeing him doesn't seem like the brightest of solutions. We've got Dragon Breath, we've got Blade Barrier. Maybe we could try this Shard Storm thing. Maybe I just run around, try not to give them a target to shoot at. Yeah, that's seriously worrying. We do have this Nightmare Lance thing, but I doubt very much that's going to kill him in one go. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. So we are on the defensive, people. And I'm afraid if we die this time, we are dead for good. I can trigger the Greater Vigor cookie, can't I? But when you're getting one shot like that, it's a bit of a moot point. Or technically it wasn't one shot, was it? We had 100 health, didn't we? And he took 70 odd. All of which comes back to the argument, why are you running an effective level 5 quest at level 3 and why are you doing it on Reaper mode? I'm doing it for the purposes of the video. Okay. So, decision time. We're going with the Shard Storm. We'll go with the Strength Cookie as well. And the Vigor. Oh, I've put the Shard Storm thing on cooldown now. I think we'll go in with the Shard Storm going. And we'll try a Dragon Breath as well. Healing Hands. Oh my god! He's just a beast, isn't he? It's not going to happen, is it? He is a beast. I did my best. 2 lots of Healing Hands. We're recovering a little bit from the Vigor. But if we get up, what the hell do I do? come on. So it was just the red crown that was causing all the problems. Wow, what an ending. So we survived because of the sort of residual effect of the greater vigor, and that just gave us enough to bring us back up. Well, I suppose that's one reason to run things on Reaper, to make a bit more of a suspense with the finish. I mean, from what we've seen here, without red crowns, which you don't get outside of Reaper, and without Reapers themselves, this build would be absolutely chewing through. No bother at all, because the heals incoming would not be nerfed. So those little heals that he's getting from hitting opponents, I'm pretty sure would not just be doing 1 and 2. So he would be sitting pretty at that. More than confident, even on a first life, that this build on Elite would be doing okay. What have we found there? Oh, protection from evil, we've already got that as a clickable. Okay, I think we've suffered enough there. Thank you very much as always for looking. I will lick my wounds and go and take level 4 and see if we can't take some bloody revenge for the deaths inflicted upon us. I hope you folks are having a good weekend. It might be back into the next week by the time you get to see this one, because I'm a couple in front here. But hope you've had a good weekend then, and I will speak to you in the next one. Take care.